We're diving deep into the top 3 most valuable Washington quarter dollars. Think a quarter is only worth 25 cents. Think again. Could be worth thousands, even hundreds thousands of dollars. These everyday coins, hiding in plain sight, could be your ticket to a small fortune. Errors that collectors are desperate to find. From minting mistakes to mysterious metal anomalies, stick around to see if you might have one of these hidden treasures just sitting in your jar of spare change. Well, hold on to your coin jars, because the 1981 P-era Washington quarter dollar has shocked collectors and rocked the numismatic world with its mind-blowing auction prices, rarity, and mysterious origins. This isn't just a coin, it's a legend in disguise. We're diving deep into the full story, how this seemingly ordinary quarter from 1981 turned into a six-figure treasure. Background: 1981 was a transitionary year in the U.S. mint's history. It came at the tail end of the post-silver era, where all quarters were being struck in a copper-nickel clad composition, no silver, no frills. Over 601 million quarters were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and at first glance, there was nothing unusual about them. Wrong planchette error, $45,000 to $57,000, off-center strike, $60,000 to $80,000, double strikes and broad strikes, $75,000 to $100,000, auction sales record and value. If you think you found a 1981 P quarter with an error, grading is critical. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale by organizations like PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company. An error coin in poor condition might be worth a few $100s. The same coin in mint state, MS65 or higher condition, now you're talking $25,000 to $60,000 at a rare error type, like a wrong planchette or dramatic double strike. And that price can soar to $80,000, even $100,000 at auction. In 2022, a 1981 P quarter struck on a foreign planchette sold for over $75,000. Shocking even veteran collectors. Another MS66 example with a dramatic off-center strike and retained date pulled in $60,000 at heritage auctions. And the values are still rising, especially as error coin collecting explodes on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and eBay. How to identify? So how do you spot one of these rare 1981 P error quarters? Here are the key features to watch for mint mark P on the obverse. Found just right of Washington's ponytail. Weight test. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If it's significantly more or less, it may be struck on a wrong planchette. Visual inspection. Check for off-center designs, doubled letters or numbers, unusual edges, broad strike, weak or missing details, clashed ghost images of reverse design on the obverse or vice versa. Sound test. Some errors made on foreign plankets will sound different when dropped. Certification label. If you're buying from another collector, insist on PCGS or NGC certification. We're diving deep into the jaw-dropping story of this rare 1980 P Washington quarter dollar, exploring how it came to be, what makes it so incredibly valuable, and how you might spot one. So buckle up, coin hunters, because what you're about to discover could turn your next handful of change into a six-figure payday. Background: the Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, designed by John Flanagan. It quickly became a staple of American coinage. Originally struck in 90% silver, the quarter transitioned in 1965 to a clad composition due to the rising cost of silver. Clad layer missing error, $20,000 to $40,000, broad strike error, $90,000 to $110,000, double strikes errors, $85,000 to $150,000, auction sales records. What have they sold for? Let's look at some real-world auction results. A 1980 P copper quarter error graded by PCGS as MS65 sold for a jaw-dropping $110,000 at a heritage auction. Experts believe if a higher graded specimen emerges, say, an MS66 or MS67, it could easily exceed $150,000. Even lesser versions of this coin, like partial clad errors, regularly sell for $20,000, $90,000 online. How to identify one? How to tell if you have a 1980 P error quarter? Want to know if you have one of these valuable coins in your collection? Here's what to check for. Weight it. Normal clad quarters weigh 5.67 grams, but an off-metal copper planchet quarter weighs closer to 3.11 grams, the weight of a Lincoln cent. Color inspection. Look for a reddish copper color instead of the usual silvery tone. Edge. A standard quarter has reeded edges. Copper planchet versions often have smooth edges. No clad layer. If it's missing the nickel coating, that's a red flag and a good one. Use a magnet. These coins are non-magnetic, so if it reacts to a magnet, it's not the rare one. Professional grading. Send it to PCGS, NGC, or ANACS for confirmation. A certified coin drastically increases in value. The rare 1983p Washington quarter dollar out there, and it's one of the most astonishing error coins ever discovered. This is no ordinary quarter, it's the result of a once-in-a-generation minting mistake that turned a small coin into a six-figure treasure, whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just curious about the change in your pocket. Background: the Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It was originally struck in 90% silver and has undergone various design and material changes since then. Fast forward to the 1983 and the US. Mint was no stranger to change or chaos. Budget cuts, equipment overuse, off-center strikes. $20,000 to $50,000, double strikes. $140,000 to $170,000, wrong planchet errors. $90,000 to $200,000. Auction sales record and value. Who's buying these coins, and how are they verified? The rarest 1983p off-metal error quarter has already made headlines at auction. Stax Bowers and Heritage Auctions have sold specimens in the $140,000 to $170,000 range. These coins are typically graded by PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company. An example in MS66 red-brown RB condition could command up to $200,000 or more if it ever resurfaces on the open market. Coins with these kinds of errors are usually accompanied by a certificate of authenticity and professional encapsulation. How to identify? What to look for in your spare change? Think you might have one? Here's what to check. Weight, the most important test. If it weighs around 3.11 grams, it could be struck on a penny blank. Color: in normal quarter is silver. The rare error will appear reddish brown or copper. Edge: the typical reeded grooved edge is missing. The error quarter will have a smooth, plain edge. Design: check for sharp Washington and eagle details, but unusual coloration and size. No clad layers. If it's missing both layers, it's almost certainly an off-metal strike. Get it graded. If you suspect you found one, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. A graded coin multiplies in value instantly.